Welcome to another conversation of Effortless Conversations with my co-star, Tammy.
Star.
I like co-star better. I don't think I'm going to go with co-star.
Yeah, I like that.
So, Tammy, what I thought we'd talk about today is money and career. The reason why I want to talk about that one is I don't know, I'm really passionate. Like, I really get excited when I talk about abundance. I just love the word abundance. Because for me, that was like a big thing, abundance, because I started out like in the, doing jobs that were like doing like hard work. And because I was always taught like, oh, you got to work hard to make money. You got to put forth effort. You got to strive to get money to make a living. And what I found out later in life is that's not the case. Money can come to you effortlessly and with ease. And I had not known that before. And I was always taught that you have to do something you don't like, you have to do a 9 to 5, and that's the only way. But what I found out that's not the case. Like we all have a gift, no matter who we are, anyone that's listening to us, we have a gift. And that gift is what we love to do. We just naturally love to do it. We don't even real like playing, for example. You can get paid to play, to have fun, to do what you love. Getting paid to do what you love, that's kind of like what excites me. And that's kind of like what I'm doing now. Like I love like having conversations like this. I love making videos. I love writing books. And that's something that I love to do. Like I would do it for free, but yet you can get highly paid to do it. So, I mean, that's kind of like what I saw in my life, that it went from that thinking and just releasing those beliefs that you have to work hard and strive, you know, to make a living. But now it's more like, oh, I can do what I love and make a living. And then the money kind of comes in effortlessly in an easy way. How about for you, Tammy? What have you seen when it comes to money and career and all that kind of stuff?
I remember when I lived in Washington, one of my first jobs was picking raspberries.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you something, the spiders, the thorns, and all of that, we spent all day in the hot sun burning up, and we made maybe $2 an hour. And I was like, nope, not doing this. And when you have a few experiences like that, and I too was raised that you stress, strain, and struggle, you do things you don't want.
You
You
were
and I
too. Yeah.
got praised for working hard. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Everybody would praise me and say, oh, you're such a hard worker. And when you go in sick, they would just, it was like they would just admire you for
Yeah,
going
people have pictured people have the
pushing
perfect
yourself.
attendance. They're like, "Oh, you have the perfect
Oh, I
attendance.
know, right? It's
Give
that's
you
a
a
perfect
bonus." I'm like,
example.
now I'm
Yeah.
looking at it like that was stupid. Like, why would I even do that?
Exactly. But those things run pretty deep. I think that's fear-based from a lot of parents that, grew up during the Depression, and
Mm.
a lot of people had war situations. So we had parents that were really steeped in lack, and it was their reality.
Mm.
And they didn't have the internet. They didn't have effortless conversations on YouTube to look at. And
Uh,
you think about how our parents, went through all of this. I had my grandmother was in a couple of wars. My mom and my dad went to Vietnam, and I think about where they learned all this scarcity thinking and how life was really hard, and that was reality to them, and they
mm.
were shown no other way. Yet, like we choose our own families. Everybody says that we get to choose our parents, and perhaps, I'd like to think that I had many lives, and I wanted the challenge. Is why I picked my family, so that I could evolve and develop and come to the point where I was asking enough questions to come to this understanding that you don't have to work hard. And I took that stress, strain, and struggle thing, and I decided that I was going to be somebody. And that's when I became a director in Mary Kay Cosmetics, because I'll tell you something. I went out and I went to the mall and I said, I'm talking to 50 people. I'm going to get their numbers, and then I'm going to call them, and I'm going to book, and I'm going to build my team. I'm going to win that company car. And I did it. But boy, every minute was like time is money, is what I was taught. So I went out there and I was on fire and I was motivated, but I didn't think it through. I didn't think that I would have to do this all the time.
Yeah,
And,
man.
this isn't residual
It was
income.
fun for a little bit, but then it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. And after
to
you have that
sustain it, it's
experience,
like
and you can't sustain it, it's
yeah,
too hard.
unsustainable. Yeah,
It is unsustainable and very unsatisfying. You kill yourself for a buck. And I
yeah.
remember when
Takes
I
the
won,
fun out of it. Then
yeah, yeah,
if you're
when
not
I
having
won
fun,
the
why do it?
Yeah. And then when I ended up becoming a director and I got the car, I thought, is this all there is?
Yeah.
I literally was like so
Empty, right? Felt
disappointed.
empty. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're, again, of course, I didn't understand that you need to come from wholeness first, that you need to
Yes.
be happy and you need to be enjoying things to let things come in
Yeah.
effortlessly. That
With
just,
ease. Yeah.
wasn't what we were taught. It's so opposite. And I
Yeah,
used
it's like
to,
inverted, right? You got to work hard.
yes.
No, you're supposed to do what you love. It's supposed to be fun, playful, like we're little kids on the playground, having fun, playing, and getting highly paid to do that, to have fun, and
And
making
it's really
work
funny.
work play, make it
Well,
like
you
a
think
play
about
thing.
it, when you live in a world that tells you and praises stress, strain, and struggle, and you're just playing, they call you
Yeah,
lazy, and they put you down, and they make then you start feeling bad, and you start to believe them when everybody around you is living that way.
yeah. I
You
think
know,
it's about time people wake up to that, though. Why should we? Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Why? Let's just wake up and let's have some fun and change the paradigm. Change, drop that thinking.
I agree with you completely. And the thing about it is, when those grooves run deep, though, sometimes you don't even get a whiff and you're not around anybody like that. It doesn't even occur to most people. I remember when I was working at the mall as a manager at a men's shoe store, I remember taking my break and going over to Woolworths or whatever the store was in the mall.
Woolworths. Yeah, I remember
Yeah, do you
Woolworth,
remember
the
that?
five and
Yeah.
dime store. Yeah,
Yeah, uh-huh.
we're dating
And I
ourselves now.
I ended up buying a mascara and it cost $5. And I thought, oh my
It's
God, I
ridiculous.
worked a whole hour for just to buy this mascara. And I thought to myself, there is no way I'm going to get rich doing this. There's no way
Yeah,
I'm going
right.
to make money doing this. How am I ever going to make a
Yeah,
living?
that business model is not going to work.
Yeah. So I was asking a lot of questions about abundance early on, wanting to understand. And then, of course, I went to the journey of doing my own business, self-employment. And then, you do that for a while and you're like, wow. And it doesn't, and you do the stress, strain, and struggle and it doesn't work. And then you're going, okay. And then I started reading about, how these wealthy people did it. How are they doing this? They're playing golf, they're having fun. Oh, there must be something to this. So, I started doing some research and then I found I didn't learn about the stock market until I was in my 30s. I didn't even know it existed because my dad was in the military and we traveled all the time and I just didn't even know that existed. And I thought, wow. But again, even if you know about all these opportunities, if you don't understand that you are coming from lack of, a lack in money, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter what you do, you're not going to succeed because your mentality and you're not coming from that effortless, joyful, whole place. You're coming from
Yeah.
lack, trying to be somebody, and you're chasing the dollar, as we talked
Yeah,
about
and you're
before.
thinking the happiness is outside you when it's not, it's within you. It's understanding who and what you truly are. And once you have that realization that you are whole and you're complete and you have it already, that you're abundant, then it comes more from a play or from an overflow. I don't have to take something from someone else to feel whole and complete. I feel whole and complete already. I'm just having fun and just expressing myself creatively and just sharing, this joy with people and having fun with it.
Rob, when I hear you say that, if you had talked to me like that probably 20 years ago, I would have go, yeah, uh-huh. And I would have found every reason to think, yeah, it's because you get to go on cruises, you get to do this, you get to do that. And I'd find all kinds of reasons to say why it's easy for
I would
you.
say, come join me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
But
show
you
you
didn't
how.
start
Give me
out
a
that way,
call.
right? You didn't start out that way, right, Rob? You didn't
No,
start out that way.
I was like carpet cleaning and Sears in Long Island. I did that for a while. Then I worked for Cellular One, AT&T Wireless. So did the corporate world for a while. I was selling cell phones in a cell phone store for a while. Then I worked up to management, and then I ran a team, and then I got district manager, and then I was a trainer. So I've done all that kind of stuff. And I kind of ran my own cell phone store. I did like you, got into my own business doing that. And so, yeah, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to know what your story was, how you ended up coming to this point. I mean, were you unhappy where you were, or were you happy and it just flowed,
Well,
or
I mean, it's stressful. Think about it. When you're running like a team, like I was like a district manager, I had like, I don't know, 25 store managers that I was dealing with. And under them, they had their own teams. And it was just a lot of stress. Like, 'cause you had to hit like sales numbers, quotas, and that kind of stuff. The money was great though.
oh, I
But
know, I did sales
yeah,
too.
the money was sales, like, and I was killing it, like in sales. And you go on all these like sales trips. That part was fun. Like they sent us to like Hawaii and Orlando. They
Incentives.
rented out Universal Studios one day, and we partied up there. And they treat you like a king. They bring you, have these award ceremonies and you do all that kind of fun stuff. But that's not like the everyday. The everyday was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety with it.
You
Um,
remember the sales meetings when you would go in and they would ask you what your goals were?
yeah.
I remember I worked for a magazine for a while and we were all sitting around and they had us all say what our goals were. And I had had enough. And I finally said, you know what? I don't know what my goals are. I said, I'm just going to go out there, have a good time, and I'm going to see what the customer wants, and then we'll see what happens. And everybody was kind of floored because I said, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear because I don't know. When you start to change the way you think about things and understand these things, I don't know, that stuff just falls away. Did you find that to be true? You're just not motivated anymore.
Yeah, you kind of lose interest in it, like because you see, it's like it's just not. It wasn't an alignment because I got to a certain point where it just wasn't in alignment with what I really want to do, like what really lit me up. That wasn't what really lit me up. What really lit me up for me was I love writing. I love writing books. I love doing like having conversations like this. I've always enjoyed having conversations, talk shows. I've enjoyed coaching. Coaching is like a big thing to me. I love doing coaching, meeting people one on one, having them tell me, what is it they really want out of life, and then supporting them in reaching their goal. I like seeing people use their gifts in the world. Like I find so many people I deal with now, what I'm really passionate about now is people that have these gifts. Might have these gifts of that they can help people in certain ways. And what happens is they end up not doing it or not doing what they love because they don't have enough money to do it. So helping them to charge their worth so they can continue to give their gift to the world, that really lights me up. And I'm really passionate about helping people with that. I find a lot of satisfaction in that. And just like talking, joking around, like having fun, entertaining. That's kind of like my thing, making it light, effortless, easy. I love being spontaneous, like just coming on these calls and just talking and I love connecting people too. I love connecting people with other people that I think would be good matches, to see them grow and sprout and expand. And I don't know, that's kind of like, that's what brings me my joy and what excites me now. It's got to be like lighthearted. Like every day for me, has to be like, it has to be easy, lighthearted. I have to be having fun. It's got to like light me up. And otherwise I just get bored with it. It's got to be something that, um, I have fun. So I like meeting people. I like traveling. I like incorporating traveling with coaching. That's why I think coaching to me is my favorite because
I
with
think
coaching,
you and I, we're twins in that way.
yeah.
It's funny because don't you find out that you just naturally do it? It's not even something that I didn't realize I've been doing it this
No,
whole
I don't even know I'm doing it. I'm just talking, even as a
I
little kid, my
know.
sister told me, she goes, Rob, remember when we were kids, you would sit there and you'd have me on the couch and you'd be like, okay, tell me about your day. What do you want to do, sis? Why can't you? Oh, let me tell you how you can do it. And I would like build her up and like be like, you can do it. She goes, you were always like the motivational speaker. You like motivated my ass. Like I was like, really? She's like, yeah, that was just your natural ability. Like sometimes when we have something natural that we do, we don't realize it until someone else points it out
It's
to us.
funny because my sister, I was talking to her, she
My
goes, you
sister's the
know,
one who did it. Yeah.
my sister said, you should do a podcast. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. And she's like,
Yeah.
I was like, what? And she goes, yeah. She goes, every time I talk to you, it's just so uplifting and this and that. And like you said, when it's so natural to you, you don't even think that it's a skill set. You don't even think that that's your gift. It's just who you are because when you think about it, it is who you are.
Yeah, it's
But
funny you say
that's
that because on
where
my last call I had, we were just talking about before we started recording, the one I had with Julie and Rebecca Hamilton about the new book I came out with. At the end of the call, like after we stopped recording, Julie turns to me, she goes, Rob, you're really good at this. Like I'm watching you with these interviews and stuff. She goes, you really have a knack for it. I was like, oh, really? Well, thank you.
you're just
You don't even
me.
realize it. So you have other people like telling you, it's like, wow. Like they're like, and I'm like, I'm just being myself. Like it's
Well,
not,
and I
it's
think
easy
the
for me.
reason, when you talk like that, I think what I'm getting from this conversation is again, what we're passionate about, we just normally gravitate towards, and we're not taught to see. I remember Abraham saying, what lights you up, like you say, what is your
Yeah.
bliss? Like Joseph Campbell, follow
Follow
your
your
bliss.
bliss. Yeah.
What are you excited about? And what do you do naturally that you enjoy? That's your thing.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because when you're taught in a, Western society that you can't do what you love or you'll hate it if you tie it with money and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
because they're trying to say like because like parents will
So
tell their
not true.
kids like you got to go for accounting, you got to be a
Yes,
medical
yes.
doctor,
That's the way
you got
I
to
was
be a lawyer.
raised.
Why? Because that's where the money's at. If you don't do that, you won't be able to, you won't be able to live your life. You won't be able to pay your bills. You won't be able to have a house. And so
Yeah,
you can't be an artist, you can't be a writer, you can't be a coach, because you'll
exactly.
never make it. But I find that untrue.
Yeah.
If you're really passionate about it and you love what you do, it's amazing. The money will just follow you effortlessly when
Well,
you're
and
truly
that's the
lit up
thing
about it.
though, if you have to believe that though, because if you
Yeah.
go in and you do what you love, but you really believe that you're not going to make money, then you're not going to make money. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the creation part of things, right?
Yeah.
Is understanding that. And I think like you did, you put your foot out there a little bit, just tiptoe into it. You don't have to
Yeah.
quit your job and
Yeah.
go and do what you love. You can just do your thing and ease into it and play with it. Try a little
Yeah, I
bit.
remember when I first started doing the coaching and the YouTube channel, I just did it for fun. I just posted it, even though I was working my 9 to 5, I would just post it and then I would just do it in my free time. I would just like coach people. I used to do it for free at one point. I was just totally just doing stuff for
Yeah.
free. And then it got so big, it was like, well, I can get paid to do this. People like wanting to give me money to do it. So I'm like, okay. So then I started charging people to do it. Now it's to the point where it replaces your 9 to 5. Now you're just doing your coaching or whatever your passion is. For me, that's kind of like what worked out for me.
So you eased into it. You didn't just
Yeah.
all of a sudden boom. I don't know
No,
where we
no.
get this. I don't know where
Yeah.
we get these ideas that all of a sudden we're just going to be
Mm-mm.
boom. It's going to
I would
happen.
say whatever free, like, what do you do? Like, I always tell people, like, what do you do? What do you like to do in your free time? What is something you do that you would do it for free? Okay.
Mhm.
That's usually what your passion is. And then you can build on that, just
Yeah.
be in your passion every day. I would tell people. So I would just post a video every day because I just enjoy, sometimes I'd just be talking to myself on the beach or just sharing ideas, or I just call up, my friend, hey, you want to do a video together? We just like sit here and banter and have fun with the video, stuff like that. So you just start off like that, and then it slowly builds. You find it, the momentum builds, and then next thing you know, you're doing that full time. What happened? Now you're doing what you love, So you, like you said, start off by doing what you love each day. You can ease into it.
Well, let's take this back to the creation thing. What you just said right there is you're doing what you love, you're wide open, you're vibing high, and so the money follows. So you
Yes.
weren't even trying, it just
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Effortless, like you say, for the effortless being. So I just really think that what happens is, people think that they have to do a business that makes a lot of money. I remember going through and thinking, okay, maybe I'll, do a soap business because natural soaps there's a need for that,
Yeah.
and I
You're coming at it the wrong way. Yeah.
exactly because that's what we're taught that you need to
Yeah.
see what the market wants and then you need to provide it. And it's
Do what
backwards.
you love. It's a priority. Do what you love first, and then the money will follow. And what I found too, a lot of people that I coach with this, when they're doing what they love, is sometimes they don't charge their worth. Like some of it has to do with they don't feel worthy to charge that, or some people have a hard time charging, because they
Well,
don't value what they're doing. So it's almost like helping them remove those limited blocks that are
yeah,
within them.
that comes from the years and years of lack conditioning
Yeah.
and feeling. And also, when you don't have money and you're struggling, you think you're going to be comfortable asking someone to pay you. You're not going to believe that they're going to pay you for your work
Yeah.
because you haven't had that experience. So I think a lot of people are coming from that place. And
Yeah.
some people could get, your effortless abundance book and read about how to, be open to it, try to basically it's funny because I've done so many businesses and I've done so many things, and it didn't matter what action I took with the stress, strain, and struggle, it didn't net me what I wanted. It was when I was enjoying the business that I made
Yes.
money. But when I started looking at the financials and I started being responsible, that's when, things became difficult and the money didn't come in. I remember when I was doing my real estate investing,
Yeah.
I was out there, and when I was in the flow and I was enjoying it, meeting with people, getting creative, talking to people about different properties and finding investors that were interested in certain properties. And I had properties under contract that they wanted. And it was so fun because I remember putting this property under contract for $4,000. And he bought it for me for like 8. And I thought, woohoo, he turned around and sold it for 30. But the thing about it is that was exciting. It was new and it was fun. It was adventurous. And that's when I was playing with a lot of the Abraham stuff. And I thought, wow, I just created money from nothing. This stuff really works. And then when I started listening to a lot of the training that I went to and I didn't follow my gut, they go, oh, you need to have, a turnkey system. You need to put $30,000 and you need to have these people that, send these yellow letters
What
out.
was your intuition telling you though? What was your
My
intuition?
intuition felt like it was off, but I wanted to believe that it would work. And so I did it, and it didn't net me anything. When I followed my gut and I sent flyers out from that, that's when I was able to basically get the deal I wanted. So again, following your intuition.
That's key for people, because everyone has access to the intuition. Like that gut feeling that you're talking about, we all have that when it feels easy, open, expansive. Follow that. If it's feeling like contracted or striving and getting frustrated, then it's time to back off.
Yeah. And it's really nice. That would have been really nice to know back then, but I didn't know that, and so sometimes when you're taught stress, strain, and struggle, it's supposed to be.
That's the opposite. It's inverted. That's the opposite.
Exactly.
That's the time to relax back.
Yeah. I used to joke around that everything I was taught, the opposite is true.
The other thing I think is important too is like when we're sharing our gift with the world is just to be authentic, like especially when it comes to charging people. Like for myself, like I write books and stuff, but I had a mentor one time that I paid to do that, I mean, so if you're going to charge people for things, I would say do it yourself first, and then you'll have that conviction to know that it works, and you'll come through that feeling of being authentic.
What do you mean?
Like whatever you're doing, like if you're doing a mentorship, like if I'm offering mentorships like I do, I paid a mentor at one time to do it myself. Like, so you feel more comfortable charging other people because you've done it yourself, because you did it. So that's what I mean about being authentic. A lot of people have a hard time, charging. I said, well, have you ever paid a mentor? Have you ever paid a coach, to do? And a lot of them are like, no. And I say, well, that's why you don't have the conviction to do it, because you didn't make the decision. You didn't take the step. You didn't take the leap to do it. It's like once you, like I found for myself, once I took the leap, then I was more serious. It was like a different energy that I brought to it. It's like, well, I paid for so I'm serious. I'm all invested. You're bringing that kind of energy, and that's the kind of energy you need to be successful. And it's almost like when you're paying that, or you're committing to that, and you're making that decision, it totally changes the whole dynamics of everything. And that's when it really works. You can have all the head knowledge and stuff, but until you actually put it into action and make the commitment and make the decision. And so by paying, and then you become authentic, and then you can charge that too, because it works.
Yeah.
And then you get it back tenfold anyway. So it's like, it's a win-win for everybody.
Every time I've ever invested in myself, it has always paid off.
Dave, yeah.
Not once has it not, so I can say that because I've had so many experiences, but the first time I did it, it was scary because it's the unknown, so you got to trust a little bit, but once you do it, and the thing is, a lot of times when I get all heady and I worry about it, I think it's just money anyway.
Yeah.
What the heck,
It always shows up. The ground always appears as you walk, is what I say. As you spend, you're replenished. A funny thing is, like a lot of people, I go on a lot of Abraham cruises, and it's a couple $100. I forget what it is now for an Abraham cruise, like for the, for when we go in and do the coaching, the workshop. That's kind of like coaching too. It's like a workshop coach. Like you're investing in yourself, right? So a lot of people are like, how do you afford to do that? Like, how can you do that? I said, it always comes back to me, like whatever. And I could take stuff from that and I can use that in my coaching business to help people. So it always comes back like tenfold. So I tell people, like, invest in yourself. If you're, go on the cruise, like book the cruise, do it, like invest, whatever your thing is. If that's what you want to do, the coaching, doing that or something else, what I would say, go with what resonates with you. But once you invest in yourself, it always comes back tenfold. That's been my direct experience.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing is, and I think too, it's just, you don't have to jump off cliffs like I did. I did so many things where I just, I guess I could stick my toe in the water. I don't have to go in the deep end. Yeah. So I think that, if people just try it a little bit and go with the comfort level that they're at when they first start, and then gradually, like you did, from your job to coaching, you just did it for free for a while. Yeah. And you found out, and then they started.
It's like you sharpen your sword. I always say that's like sharpening your sword. You're getting good at it. You're exposing yourself to it. And then as you get better, you get more confident with it. And then people start passing your name around and stuff like that. And, it builds from there.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're excited, it's contagious. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like that with your business too. When you're having a good time, people want in. They're like, let
Yeah,
me.
let me in on the party, man. Like, having this guy's
Uh-huh.
having a party over here. Let's get in on that.
And
And
you
that's what I
think
really felt a lot with the Abraham cruise. Like, it's like everybody's having a party, having fun. Like, I want in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'll say that that Abraham cruise to me, yeah, it's quite an investment. It is.
Yeah,
What I got from it, you can't even
invaluable. And it always
tell.
comes back like tenfold. The money
It
always comes
does.
back.
It does. It
Things
does.
always work out somehow,
Yeah.
some way. I don't even worry about the how. Like, even believe it said, don't worry about the how. Just like follow your passion, have fun with it. Of course, common sense stuff, but for the
And
most
have you
part.
noticed that when you want to do something that the money appears? That has happened.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, gosh, that's even better than having a million or a billion in the bank.
Yeah.
Because
The
it's kind of
ability
like
to make
when
it
you
appear
want
when
to
you
do
need it.
something, it
Yeah.
appears.
Yeah. The ability, imagine having that ability, that confidence to know that you can do what you want. The money will appear at that particular time when you need it to appear. Now, to
There's
me, that's abundance.
so many times in
No
my
matter what's in the
business.
bank, it don't matter what the bank, what your life
Exactly.
situation is. What I do now is my wife laughs at me, is like, okay, we're going down to book another cruise before we leave, right? I'm like, yep. What I do is I always go down before I leave the cruise. I always have one booked before I leave.
Me
And she's
too.
like, well, I don't know how we're gonna. Don't worry about the how. We make the decision that we're gonna do it. We're excited about it, right? You want to do it, right? We're gonna have fun, yeah. And everything always works out. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. Every time I'm on a cruise, I book another one, and it always works out. I don't even think about the how or the what, but how it doesn't matter. It's gonna work
Well,
out.
it's
It will.
because you're clear about what you want, so it
Yeah,
has to deliver. You're clear about it.
yeah,
When you have a knowing and you want, and when I got clear, that's when it happened for me too. When I'm hemming and hawing and not sure
yeah.
and I'm uncertain, then the universe says, okay,
Okay.
then you don't
Yeah.
want it that bad. Okay. Or you
Yeah, it's
don't
the same
really,
thing
you're
with
not
trying. I'm
ready for it.
trying. I hate when people say I'm trying. Well, then you're gonna just keep trying. The universe gonna keep giving you more trying. Get
I
into the
know.
feeling of it now. Like, feel it now, because you can have the feeling now. It doesn't have to be when the thing comes. You can feel lit up right now just by thinking about it, putting yourself there at the end result of seeing what that feels like. I think about myself on the cruise with the wind going, sitting out at the fine dining there with my wife, being out on the dance floor with all my friends and dancing. Like, I'm thinking about like how much fun it is. Like,
Isn't
and
it easier though when you do to get to basically grab those memories once you've gone?
yeah,
So
because now
it
it
gets
builds
easier and
momentum.
easier
Now
and
I got like so
easier.
many. Yeah. And then I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about it with you. I'm getting goosebumps now, getting all fired up. I can't wait. Let me go look up the excursions on that cruise. Hold on. I gotta go.
I know it's the Panama Canal one next.
Yeah, Panama Canal, ABC Island, Colombia. So that should be fun. I got to look up some of the. I get excited about the excursions too. I love it.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And that's another thing is, the adventures that you have and the people you're around. It's just
The people I meet are just incredible people, beautiful people from all around the world, well talented. There's some incredible people out there, and that's the thing that I love about this too. I'm meeting people all over the world, internationally, traveling, talking with people, making contacts, friends all over the place, all over the world, opportunities popping up left and right. It's just a beautiful life. I'm really enjoying
yeah,
life
it
right now.
really is a beautiful life when you just think about, just gets better and better and better. Just the people that you meet. And it's funny because we're from different countries speaking different languages and we have different cultures, but yet we're all one in the sense that we understand that, it's all about the joy. And when
Yeah,
you have
our one language
different,
is the joy language. That's what
yes,
unites
yes,
us all. We all have the joy language, no matter what country you're from. Everybody wants
yeah,
to have fun and joy. They can
I know.
feel your energy. Is like, I don't even need to speak the same language. You feel the energy? I
Yeah.
was thinking the number one thing that I do see in the hot seat, though, is in line with our subject. Guess the number one thing people ask about when they're in the hot seat?
What?
Money.
Oh, of course, that's
Yeah.
always that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think
Yeah.
it's just because we have such a belief in lack in our culture,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, I've had parents that really experience severe lack, and to say, oh, it'll just be, come to me, you can't go from A to Z. It takes
Yeah.
a bit of practice, to play with it a little bit. It took years, and even, uh, because sometimes you think you're thinking about the money, but you're actually thinking about the lack of it and you don't even realize
Yes, that's the
sometimes.
thing. Yeah, Abraham brings that out a lot. They're thinking about, think about, you have to feel that inside that you're already whole and complete, that you're already full. And you can have the feeling and think about what's the reason why you want that money? Is it because you want to go on that trip? Well, why? Because it's going to make me feel so good. And you can have that feeling now. So
Take the
have the
shortcut.
feeling now and
Yeah.
then act from once you're in that high vibration or that state of feeling good about it now. You can have the feel, it's the emotional payoff is what
And to
everybody wants.
think about the fact that everybody wants the good feeling, but nobody really thinks that they can shortcut and they can feel it now.
Yeah, we got a shortcut.
I know it is a shortcut, and I mean, you think about it, when you were just thinking about it and talking about the fine dining and going here, going there, all the people you're meeting, you're there already.
I'm
You're
already there. It's in
excited.
my head. I'm living
Yeah.
it. We're
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
conga line right now.
Do you remember when everybody was dancing to the Mamma Mia
Love
music,
that. Mamma Mia.
ABBA?
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. I felt like everybody's like floating off the air. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just the energy was so high and it was so fun and delightful. Just having so many people excited and dancing and happy. And the silent disco too. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's my happy place is when I'm like dancing, doing the silent disco, singing along and dancing. I don't know. That's just like my happy place.
Yeah.
Sometimes even at my house, I'll just put Alexa on and just dance around the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing about it is, I think it just takes practice though, little by little by little to make it a habit, right?
Yeah, and just being aware of what the thoughts are. Like if you're feeling a certain way, just check your thoughts. Like, what am I believing here? Is this belief really true? Is there another way? Do I really have to believe that thought? Because, look at the results it's yielding. And then once you see the thought, you're automatically going to drop it because you're like, that doesn't really serve me. So why am I going to believe that? It's just that a lot of times they're subconscious. We're not don't even realize it, like you said, because we're so programmed, you know
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
don't see it. And sometimes it just takes just paying attention to how you feel. So if you can really pay attention to how you feel, if you're feeling depressed or down or anxious or stressed, just check and say, what do I have to believe in this moment? That I'm feeling this way. What beliefs am I holding right now? What am I thinking about that I'm not even aware that I'm thinking about that I would feel this way? And just kind of just check, ask yourself that question, just, sit with it and you'll be amazed the answer will come to you. You'll be like, oh, well, I'm believing in this lack, or I'm believing in something that happened in the past and it didn't work out. And I'm projecting that onto this particular situation instead of just keeping it open and fresh and trusting that things will work out, that things always work out for me, you know.
yeah,
So it's just being aware of your subconscious beliefs and that you can understand by just paying attention to how you feel because your emotions will let you know it's your guidance system, it's your internal guidance system is your emotion. It's funny because I'm sitting here talking to you and look what I got.
what
Can
is
you see
that?
it?
Abraham? Oh, emotional guidance system.
Yes. I always keep it like right here by my thing. It's your emotional guidance system. It, starts from joy, passion, enthusiasm, and it goes all the way below, like jealousy, insecurity, fear, grief. And I always keep this here, just check my feelings. Say, okay, so if I'm feeling like, if I'm feeling, in fear or depression, I say, what thoughts am I thinking about in my head? Like, what am I believing that I'm feeling this way? And then you kind of just reach for something a little higher, maybe. Maybe I'll go to frustrations even or overwhelming is even better than depression. You don't have to go all the way up to passion and joy. And you can
Well,
just be more mindful of it.
it's so somebody's going to say, how do I know if I'm frustrated? How do I move from, frustration to what is the next one?
So if you
Frustration to
Yeah, if you're in like
hopeful.
hopeful, yeah, to be hopeful.
Yeah. So how would you do that? Just give me an example. I
I would
mean,
reach for a better feeling. I would go more general,
yeah.
but sometimes we're very specific and what we're thinking is in general, well, things, tend to work out. I don't always stay here, in this frustration. I usually do move up. I mean, it's just it'll come by. What things are going right for me right now? Well, I got this going on. What the other things I'm looking forward to? Oh, I got this cruise coming up. Well, that should be fun. I got this call with Tammy. We're gonna have a good time. I don't have to be frustrated about the car repair. Yeah, I know, it costs some money now, but it'll come back. It always comes back to me. yeah, well, what's for dinner tonight? You just kind of you talk yourself, you go more like general and you just kind of soothe yourself and reach for that next better feeling thought that you can
It's
find. You
really
usually
funny how
find
the
something.
thoughts,
Yeah.
yeah, thoughts just come in and how quickly you can identify it without even realizing, but your emotions tell you how you're
Your
feeling in
emotions
the
tell
moment.
it
Yeah,
all.
you just all of a sudden you feel off and you're
Yeah.
like, what was I thinking? Why am I feeling this way? And for me, what I love is for the scale that meditation
Yeah.
works for all of them, no matter where you are. If you have, sometimes you're going to be in the middle of a family situation, you can't meditate. So it's not a, cure all, but sometimes I'll use meditation. It can get me out. Or sometimes, like you said, just listen to good music, just redirecting your
Dancing around.
thoughts.
Or what really works for me sometimes is just go take a nap. If I'm feeling really
Yeah.
overwhelmed or frustrated, like I'm just gonna take a nap. And I wake up and I feel refreshed. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what are we
And
doing
then you're like,
now?
what was that all
Yeah.
about?
But
Yeah.
in the moment, I would say just go general. Like if you're in the moment, like with it, just kind of
With the
pause and be like,
negative
go
thoughts.
general. Like,
Yeah.
things always work out for me. The universe is on my side. It seeks to delight me at every turn. Like have like little sayings that you really believe, like in general. In general, I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it, things do generally. I mean, even my mother used to say, "This too shall pass." She's right; it always does. It always passes. It's just that when we're caught up emotionally in the situation, we just can't see it. So sometimes we just have to just soothe ourselves and go general with it. Well,
Yeah.
things generally do tend to work out, eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's okay to have those negative feelings because for the
Yeah,
longest time I was angry at myself or thought I did something wrong
yeah,
when I was feeling a negative emotion when I was trying to do this work of the emotional scale, trying to feel better and think positive thoughts. But there are going to be things in life that you're going to, take a hit and
yeah.
it's okay. And I think the part I was missing was making peace with where you are. That's a big one,
Yes.
making peace. So, yeah, I'm frustrated right now. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this situation, but you know what? I don't need to think about it right now
Yeah.
because I'm frustrated.
You don't
I'm
have
going
to figure it all out right
yeah,
now.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I was thinking like even all the emotions are like messages to us. Like if I'm feeling, fearful or something, well, maybe I'm just going too fast. Maybe it just needs to slow down. Maybe to go more general. Maybe to focus on something else. Maybe it's just a message for me to slow down or think about something else. Like maybe I'm taking this too seriously or, sometimes the emotions are there. They bring messages with them. So,
Yeah.
don't push them away or repress, welcome them and just get curious about them. Like, why am I feeling? Maybe I'm just believing something that's not true, or maybe it's just telling me to focus on something else, or whatever. Just go general with it.
I like that Abraham talks about the empty gas tank. It's like you want to know when your tank's gonna,
Yeah, you don't
finish.
want to put a happy sticker
You don't
over
want
it.
to put a happy sticker over it. Just know it, and you don't also beat yourself up because it
No, yeah, people go the other way sometimes too. Yeah,
yeah, and just don't beat yourself up and say, hey, I am where I am. It's okay. And I know how to get myself feeling better and maybe not
yeah,
right away, but eventually I always get there. And I
yep,
think that when you get to that point of understanding, you're pretty much free.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're comfortable now with the contrast. It's like
So,
you're okay, like you said, you're okay with the contrast. You're okay with what is. Like this is what it is, and there's no sense in fighting. It is what it is. So let me look for the beauty in what is, because there's always something beautiful in the what is. It's like infinite freedom. It's something always free here. It couldn't be, I always say it couldn't be any other way. This is just the way it is. And if this is what's being allowed, then it's being allowed. Why am I fighting it? Let me see what I can embrace here. And just look around. There's something beautiful around that you can focus on. There always is.
mhm.
Even if it's just your breathing or the sunshine or the air or your
Dogs
heart's
and
beat.
cats work very well too.
Oh, petting your dog. Yes, I love petting Lizzie. Pets are great.
It's a good
Helps
teaching
relax you.
them when yeah, just enjoying life and just being easy about things. So with you being when you were working and you were stressed, strained, and struggling as a district manager versus how
Yeah.
you are now, you see how you were all stressed, strained, and struggling and how you were feeling back then versus just taking it easy now. Would you say that you're about the same abundance as you were financially, or do you feel like you've exceeded that?
I feel like I'm more abundant now because back then I felt like I had to work hard and sacrifice, for abundance. But now
That's
the
hard for your
abundance just,
body too.
yeah, hard on your body. Now it's just more easy and natural. And the abundance comes the same way, whether I'm working hard or if I'm just relaxed and natural and doing what I love. So that what I would say is the biggest difference, the ease of how it comes versus how hard it was before. Now it's just more like effortless and ease and not even realizing it. And the abundance isn't just with money too. I want people
That's
to know that, but
abundance right there.
yeah, that just having that feeling, all the
Being
time.
free and being joyful and loving
Emotional freedom.
life.
Yeah.
I know, because to me, even if
That's what
stress,
money's to buy.
struggle,
It's to buy those emotions. You can have those
yeah,
emotions now.
I know. So the stress, strain, and struggle, even if it did work to get you what you want, it's not worth it because it tears you up. It
It's
doesn't
not
give you
really
time
what
to
you
enjoy
want.
life.
It's not really what you want. Let's be real. What people
Yeah.
really want is they want to feel at ease. They want to feel light. They want to
They want
feel
to be
joy.
free
Yeah, they
to
want to
be
feel
able to
freedom,
do
to be
what
able to
they want to do when they
be
want.
do whatever they want when they want. That's abundance, really, being able to do what you want when you want. It
Yeah.
shows up when it needs to be shown up, you know.
Yeah.
And it always does if you really trust it and really follow that. I mean, you have to test that in your direct experience. Just you almost have to like prove it to yourself, I would say. Because once you
Mhm.
prove it to yourself in your direct experience, you take the inspired action, prove it to yourself, and then it builds momentum. Then you trust yourself more, and then
Yeah.
it happens. You have to trust yourself, but you have to like prove it to yourself, I would say.
It's kind of like, learning a craft, whether it's riding your motorcycle or dancing or whatever it may be. At first, you're going to fumble and it's going to be difficult. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to, you know what I mean? You try it out. But if you keep at it, you start to enjoy it and you start getting good at it. It's kind of almost like that I don't know where we think that we're going to try something and like that it's going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't
Where
work
do we
like that.
get that from? I know that I don't know. Sometimes I think, where did I think that I would just be able to take a ballet class in a year? I'd be professional level. Where do we? I just
I
find
didn't
that
even think the practice is fun. Like you riding the motorcycle. I'm sure it's fun
exactly.
just learning to ride the
It
motorcycle, right?
is. At
Yeah.
first it was a little scary and nerve wracking because
Yeah.
you hear all the stories, but yeah, it's exciting and it's fun and the newness of it. I think the newness of it kind of balances it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're excited, and then once you start getting comfortable with it, the excitement goes down, but you get excited about the efficiency and the mastery of it. And I think there are so many joyous moments in anything. And I feel like with this deliberate creation,
Yeah.
conscious creation coming from wholeness, though, when you start, it's so funny when you start creating things, you get super excited because you did it through ease. And when you first, I remember, that book, Illusions by Richard Bach. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you've heard of him, but Jerry used to talk about him. So I read his book. And I remember about 20 years ago thinking, oh my gosh, to be an author and to be able to just be free to do what I want when I want and have that life, that would be so amazing, you know? And things are starting to unfold right now. And I'm seeing that the more I relax, the more it's starting to unfold.
Yeah.
And I do have that life now. I get to do what I want when I want. And
Beautiful.
instead of going into my mind and trying to look at the pros and cons, just appreciating the fact that I get to set my own schedule. I get to decide what I do when I do it. And it's just exciting when you start to live that way. And with the deliberate creation thing or the conscious creation, they used to call it deliberate creation, but conscious creation.
Reality creation, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they changed the name. Remember, Abraham called it
Yeah.
deliberate creation. They changed it because everybody was trying too hard. So it's conscious creation now.
There you go.
Which comes from a wholeness. But I get excited about it because when I first started, oh my gosh, I was like trying too hard, green over, and of course I forgot about the wholeness part and I was trying to make it happen, like the old school way that I was taught, and things
Yeah.
weren't working out too well. And then, I left it for a while, came back to it, and now I've got a really clear understanding of it. And I think with everybody, for instance, when I heard on a Abraham clip, this guy, oh, I've been, listening to your stuff for 2 months now, and I just made a deal where I make $150,000 annually from a business proposition. And I was like, what the heck? Well, I should have said, what the hell? But
Or
anyway,
what the
I was so frustrated because I've been studying this thing for 10, 15 years and I did not do that. And then it dawned on me, I got clarity once I calmed down, that we're not all at the same starting space. Okay.
Right.
I came from a family where it was deep roots of scarcity, where people were starving to death in wartime, that I was raised by a mother like that. So
Mm.
I have deep grooves of it in me. And I tried to start a business and I didn't realize those deep grooves were there that were holding me back, even though I took every action in the world. It's not about action, or I
Nah.
would be a trillionaire right now. But but that's the thing, is when I
A lot of
realized,
people are going to relate to that.
yeah, and you think about this guy, he might have been raised with a family that was pretty affluent. And so money was easy for him. So him aligning to it in 2 months worked for him. But for me, it was not like that. So
You
we
had all
can't
those
really
subconscious
compare.
beliefs, the
Yeah,
programming, the years and
yeah.
years of dealing with that, and you hadn't really like saw those
I
things.
didn't
You never,
understand how you were getting what you're getting. And also,
yeah,
even if you know it,
yeah,
you have to experience it, like you're saying,
yes. Prove
right?
it to yourself.
Yeah, prove
Yes.
it to yourself. And also, you play with it a little bit. And it's scary when you
Yeah.
feel that you're going to starve, or, you're going to lose money and you're going to be homeless. You're not so eager to try it out. Like
But
if you're,
that's why I think like going to like the workshops or having a mentor or getting a coach. That's why I think that's important to have that to support you just while you're making that transition. Like
and not only,
it can really, it's like a shortcut. It can really
and you
help.
want to know what else it is? Also, I think because I was surrounded with no people I was the only entrepreneur in my family, right?
Oh,
And all
okay.
the people around me were not entrepreneurial. So
Hmm.
I was trying to do this on my own. I didn't have anybody like a mentor or a coach
Yeah.
that was saying, this is possible. I'm doing it,
Yeah, you need that. Yeah.
So that really helps when it becomes more real and
Yeah.
tangible. It's
It's like a
kind of like
permission slip. It gives you a permission slip
yeah,
almost. Yeah.
and even the log on the fire, when you have a big fire and you add a log to it, it burns faster. It's kind of like that when you get coaching,
I agree. Yeah.
if you find the right coach,
Right.
because
That you resonate with. All right. So
yes.
this is a thing for everybody. If you'd like to do coaching with Rob and Tammy, please go look in the description and go ahead and sign up.
You're funny.
We'll give you a shortcut. What do you think? We'll start $50,000 for an hour. What do you think? We know we're not cheap. We know our worth, guys. Okay. We got to set the example. You pay us, then you'll be able to charge somebody else 50 grand for an hour.
Oh, Rob, you're too much.
Oh yeah. Every now and then I got to throw something in there.
I know. But the thing about it is, I really do believe, though, that it's important that you resonate and you feel it within from a whole place before you find somebody.
Mhm.
Because if you go out looking for a coach from a place of lack, take it
Yeah.
from me, you will attract something that is not what you're wanting. So make sure you're in a good place, and then you'll know when it's a hell yes.
Yeah. And you can resonate, like, because like everybody out there, if everyone out there could be a coach, because there's always somebody just below you that you've just been through something that that they're going through, and you were able to come out the other side successful, and they could benefit from that. So there's always somebody like just below you that went through that. So it's all it is just a matter of telling your story and your
Mhm.
experience to the other person, what they've been through, and then they resonate with it, and then you can help them because you can relate to them. Oh, I've been through that. Here's what I did to get past that. So there may be people out there that are in the 9 to 5 job, or they're doing something they hate, and they're listening to this. They may resonate with us because we've been there, and now
Well,
we've come out of that, and so we know what it's like. So we know
yes.
what the journey's like, and we know that you need to look at your subconscious thoughts. Maybe they didn't think about that till they heard this call. Like, wait a second, these guys did that. They were in the 9 to 5. They were striving. How'd they get out of it? They're telling me in this talk that they're having with each other that that there was these beliefs that they grew up with. I have these beliefs too. I never even thought to even look at them. Like, and
Exactly.
I'm walking around, I thought this was the way it was. I didn't know there could be another way. Wait, I could be happy. I could do what I love. I could
You
use my
know,
gift for the world and get paid good for it and make a living. I could replace my 9 to 5 by doing what I love. What? Nobody ever told me that. Like, what you kid, look, they're doing it, you
yeah.
know? So I'm saying like that. I mean, so there could be that. People could be thinking that as they're watching this.
It's funny because that's what I got from Abraham.
Yeah,
I heard
me
all
too.
this from Abraham, but I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I think I would have catapulted a lot faster, not that I need to, but it would have been
Yeah.
nice to
Shortcuts are always
yeah, a
nice.
shortcut
Yeah.
if I had found a mentor like you early on, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I figured it out. You don't have to have
No,
one.
it just takes you longer. That's all.
And I
Yeah.
think it also makes
Yeah.
it fun, more fun to have
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
to talk to and banter back and forth with. And that's the thing. What I love about you and I, Rob, is we do it because it's just part of who we really are and we enjoy it so
Yeah, it's
much.
like our natural talent. We just love talking and
Yeah, yeah. And I really
expressing.
do feel that the people that resonate with us will find us as we will find them.
Yeah,
And,
right.
that's the thing is one size doesn't fit all, and everybody's going to resonate with
That's
certain
okay. Yeah.
people. Yeah. And the thing is, our backgrounds, we weren't born with a silver spoon, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
both found our way through sales or whatever it was. And I've
Yeah.
tried so many businesses and I wanted to know what the heck's going on because I've done everything everybody told me. I went to college. I did all the sales training. I did
Yeah.
every step they told me, and it still didn't work. And that's the reason why when I found out about the emotional scale from
Yeah.
uh, Abraham Hicks, if people don't know, you can look at that, look at the information about the scale and how to create your own.
Come see us on the next cruise, guys. We're going in March.
Exactly.
We're offering
So
a mentorship on that cruise. It's only 10 grand. It'll be your excursion. It'll be the best excursion you ever do. Meet with Rob and Tammi. We'll be up at the Sky Lounge conducting mentorships. Oh wait, the Sunset Bar. We'll have a drink by the Sunset Bar, and we can do our coaching sessions up there. What do you say?
that sounds fun.
What's your drink? What do you like? What's your drink?
I am allergic to alcohol
Oh,
because I'm part Asian. So I have a cap full of rum in Coca-Cola every now and then because that
that sounds
tastes
good.
good and it tastes like caramel, but it's not worth it. I get a hangover right away. I turn beet red and I get a headache. So it's not
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
not good. That takes the
I
fun out of it.
know. So a lot of virgin pina coladas.
Oh, that's gonna be good, especially when it's warm. It'll be
Yeah.
warm out there in March too, when we're going. Should be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the weather is like out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, it's gonna be the islands, gonna be Aruba and Carousel, so it should be in that time. It'll be warm. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is, and I really feel like I, the circles I'm around, wonderful people, but where I live, and there's something about going to the Abraham cruise with people that are studying the same stuff.
Yeah.
It
Creator
just,
consciousness. Yeah.
yes, it kind of helps you to really make what you're learning tangible and
Yeah.
more real and applicable because I feel like we can separate what we read and what we hear about. Like I don't,
Embody
I
it.
don't
Embody it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know billionaires exist, but I don't know any, but I know they exist. And I feel like when I was studying the Abraham stuff, I just kind of kept to myself because I wanted to be solid in with it. And also I have good boundaries and people around me may not want to hear about it. And if they did, they'd come to me and, I would share. But I feel like when I went to the cruise and I met everybody, it just opened up a lot of opportunity and ways of looking at the world, especially when you have all these people from all these different countries.
So
And
cool.
I'm an army brat and I love the diversity. And I think that's why I ended up in Fresno because
Yeah.
it's like diversity here. I mean, you got every nationality.
Fresno probably has all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I love it. And I love all the ethnic foods. I love all the cultures and going on the cruise, meeting all these different people and seeing them dancing their hearts away and they're just in the moment. Just, it's contagious. And then you take that. And when I came back home, I could feel the dip in the sense that it wasn't as high flying. But I thought, you know what? I can always remember it and get
You
back
live
into
it.
that feeling and I can share it with everybody around me. And that's what it's all about. We're all uplifters to the very core, all of us. And I think that's what makes us all happy. And if we are stressed out, stressed, strained, and struggling, that part of us it isn't going to come out because we're just, it's drowned out. But when we lift all of that, oh my gosh.
Mm.
To me, it isn't even about the money. That's the biggest abundance. The abundance of feeling good in your moment,
Yeah.
the nows is the
The
biggest gift.
emotional payoff is
And the
what
money
yeah.
just follows. And
It
it's
just
just
follows you because it gives you those opportunities, that freedom to do it.
yeah. I had my grandbabies ask me, why I'm so rich. And I said, babies, Grandma's rich with happiness.
That's great. So what do
Yeah.
you do there in Fresno? What are you doing there? You do
I
any?
have an online business,
Okay.
and as you and I are currently working on a book, and we're
Yeah.
doing a um, YouTube channel together.
Yes.
And I'm a dancer. I train and I do Pilates and all that stuff that goes with it. And
That's fun.
I'm a performer. I love performing. I
Yeah.
love dance. And yeah, so I've got so many interests. It's like, and how do you
What do
should
you
see
want
my
to? And now the
schedule.
motorcycle. And now the
And
motorcycle.
the motorcycle, that's another adventure. I want to do
I
track day.
love hearing about your adventures with the motorcycle.
Oh,
It was
yes.
fun. Like 2 weeks ago, I was down in Ocean City, Maryland, out here, and they had bike week. So they had all the. You would have loved it. They had all
Oh,
these
yeah.
bikers down there. There's little festivals. We had a good time hanging out with the bikers.
That's
Bikers are
cool.
fun. They're a
They
lot of
are.
fun.
They
They're a
are.
lot of fun.
And you know what? Every year we do a different theme for our Christmas tree. Me and the grandbabies, we're doing dirt bikes and motorcycles.
I love it.
So I have to get a big, either a dirt bike or a motorcycle for the top of the tree that lights up. So it's always a challenge every year. Yeah, it's all fun. So much fun.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to close out with before we close out?
Um, I think the wholeness of it all, just, when we remember who we really are, I think it's way simpler than whatever we can talk about, really.
Yeah.
I think when we just come from a place of just enjoying the now the best we can, all of this will unfold naturally.
Mhm.
But, we're human and our minds get in the way. And so we have all these tools that we talk about. So I'm excited for the adventures for all of us ahead.
Yeah, me too. And if you guys want a shortcut, just come meet us on the cruise. We'll up at the Sky Lounge and the Sunset Bar. Tammi and I will be doing coaching. It's only 25 G's a pop.
Boy, you are
Please
abundant
email us. We'll
tonight.
work something out.
Wow. Hey,
Fun. You gotta have fun
what
with
we
it.
do is priceless.
Yeah, we do. It's priceless. It feels great.
It does.
Yeah,
Life is
especially when you know your worth, like you know what you're worth. And people can have that same conviction and confidence, like whatever gift you're giving to the world, know that, that's your gift to the world and know your worth. Like you are worth it. Charge your worth.
Yeah, and have you heard about you can't put perfume on yourself without getting it on others? That's basically what we're doing.
Exactly. What a great way to end.
Yep.
All right, we'll end there. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time for another effortless conversation. I'm looking forward to it. See you guys
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye.